I asked the first speaker from the government side of the house, and I will explain to you what this motion is coming up. In status right now, we know that when we want to enter the school, for example, in the primary and the middle school, we group that by age, right? Like when you are 7 years old, you can enter the primary, and when you are 13, you can enter the middle school. But that's the problem right now. That will never be success because with that system, we will realize that the competition student is different and will like never be same or something like that. And then what we will make group them by the competency and intelligence is because we believe that that's the best solution for all the stakeholder that will come or that will happen. And then the first, as our status quo, the competency of student is different. That because if that differentiation enter the same class, that will never be balanced. And then the idea of blameless will happen. And the case of insecurities, stress will easily to happen because of course the one is smart and the one that like lacking in the learning can learn the same thing, but it's not discrimination, ladies and gentlemen. That's or something like that. That's not discrimination, but we just want them to can compete with people that same with them and can studying step by step without any pushing by other or something. And I will more explain that on my argument. And then if we use this system, we can achieve the better world with the future generation that already enough to compete and then teacher also can teach the student with the right way. And then in here I have keywords. The idea of intelligence is to measure the level of intelligence, and then intelligence and ability to understand the lesson, whatever the lesson itself. And then the problem right now is the system that we use right now is like group them based by their age. That will never effective. And the second one, the competency of student will different or will never same. And the student gap is very high. The studying system will never be maximal because of that. And then our goal is studying if we use our way in as the government side, we believe that, and I can guarantee that the studying will maximal because of the same competency in class itself. That will make the class will balance and there's no gap. And then the second, there's no bias from the teacher. The third is study will more confidence as not insecure because of the smart one and they are the lower one or something like that. And the school itself will easily to develop and can compete with the other school. And then I have a mechanism that the first is we will give them like the pre-test to know their competency. For example, that a person 7 age but has like the competency like the person in the 9 age, so we'll group them with the 9 age itself. And after that, after we get the result, we will group them with competition that they have. And then in here we will make the socialization between parents, so the parents can understand, so there's no like fight with the school itself and with the parents itself. So you as the opposition will never make a problem, just such a problem with the parents or something like that. And then we will give them tests when they are entered the another class, when they are like go to the like third grade, fourth grade, or something like that. We'll also give them tests. So the idea or the system that we will create will always successful, and then there's no problem that will happen. In here, our stand as the government side is we want to create just a system so that improve the quality of the education itself will always good or will never be bad. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, because we know as the government we realize that the education system of our country is really low, so we want to make the another like system, so we want to achieve the better world for all of us. And in here, let's jump into my argument. I have 2 points. The first is why is it justified, and the second one is why is it urgent. The first is why is it justified. The first one, I already explained that on my status quo or my definition or something. The people intelligence, the people like competency, we can never be and know that. I mean, like that's different and will never be same, ladies and gentlemen. Because of that, they are will never the first example is when you are smart person and then your another classmate is the one that lower in the class or something, and then you have to follow them, you have to follow how they learn, how they studying or something like that, and you will bored, right? And that's what we want, and that's we really regret that, because you will never be developed. The smart itself will never be developed. And the worst kind that will happen is they will also will left behind as their friends, because like there is people that say like your competency is based on your friend, right? And then in here it's not like like discrimination. We will make the people that didn't have intelligence the low or something like that. No, but when we make them in the same grade, like when we make them in the same grade and without any differentiation itself, we believe that the first is that will happen, like they will be more will more confidence with their self, because now we know that even you ask the governance, you ask the opposition side, say that they will never be developed because they are never have in bahasa patokan or something like that to be the developed one or something like that. But no, that's not right, because the characteristic of society or the characteristic of student itself is they will insecure if there is someone that better than them. I mean, like, don't you even know that, like, I already feel that in my class is when someone that smarter than the other, that person, the other that not smart, that other person will insecure and will think, oh, there's someone that's smart in our class, so we have to smart or something like that. But when they are in the same class, when they are like there is no gap in that class, so the person will think, oh, it's fine, I can be the smart one, so I want to achieve, I want the best or something like that. So that's what we want, and that's what we hope as the government side that will happen, ladies and gentlemen. And then in here, don't you know that we believe that, like as I said before, we want the student itself have the same or have the right studying or have the write the lesson or something like that, because we already realized that how the student itself will never have the same skill because of what we use the system that we use in status quo right now, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that with our solution, with our side, with our stand as the government side, we believe that we can create the better world with every people in this world. And then, ladies and gentlemen, jump to the second one is why is it urgent. It's believed that the system right now is like will just in bahasa menghambat the learning process or something, because that's the problem. The problem right now is when teacher have to will make a same how to teach them like same without no differentiation. But the real one is they have to make a differentiation to teach the smart one and the low one, because they are have the in bahasa pemahaman that's different, ladies and gentlemen. Because of that, we believe that with the differentiation itself, like when the teacher have to like in bahasa help the nilai, have the in bahasa nilai of that the nilai of that student itself, and that will urgent, and then our system education will never be good if that always happen, ladies and gentlemen. Because of that, we're proud to be the government. I think that's all from me. Thank you.